Good morning, everyone. My name is Nirupma, and in this video, I'm going to present my essay on collaborative partnerships with families and communities in early childcare education, Foundation for Inclusion, Learning, and Development. Drawing on Early Year Learning Framework version 2.0, the national quality standards, and contemporary scholarly research, I will discuss how collaborative partnerships underpin inclusive practices and support children's learning and development. I will also present evidence based strategies for establishing, fostering, and sustaining these relationships within early childhood service context. Understanding collaborative partnerships. According to Department of Education 2022, the concept of collaborative partnership in ECEC means authentic two-way relationships among educators, families, and members of the community that are built on shared respect, trust, and collective responsibility for children learning and well-being. Such relationships acknowledge families as children's first and most effective teachers and communities as a part of a child's learning ecology, as said by Brenner in 1979. The EYLF version 2.0 recognizes the importance of collaborative partnerships as a foundation principle that recognizes the integral role of families in children's lives and their partnerships with educators to achieve the best possible outcomes. Similarly, the NQS National Quality Standard Quality Area 6 also highlights the role of collaborative partnerships by engaging with families and communities in ways that promote diversity, equity, and inclusion, that is DEI, cultural responsiveness, and holistic learning environments, as said by ESICA 2020. Collaborative partnerships and inclusion. Inclusive education in early childhood education means recognizing and valuing the diversity, be it cultural, linguistic, developmental, or socioeconomic. Collaborative partnerships enable educators to learn from families about children's identity, strengths, interests, and needs. This supports culturally competent pedagogy and differentiated practices that honors each child's unique context, as said by Gonzalez Mena in 2008. Davis and Ravenscroft in 2022 suggested that families are vital participants when it comes to co-constructions of inclusive curricula. When educators encourage family to participate as co-educators and decision makers, children become socially aware and services are better equipped to implement culturally safe and responsive practices. For instance, effective engagements with Torres Strait Islanders and Aboriginal families and communities demand ongoing respectful relationship building and the integration of First Nations knowledge into daily learning awakens the awareness in other children and they become responsible towards other cultures. Example of collaborative partnerships supporting inclusion in early childhood education. Collaborative partnerships between early childhood educator and families are fundamental to creating inclusive environment that supports each child's identity, belonging, and learning, as said by Department of Education in 2022. This example illustrates how an early childhood service in Western Sydney established a meaningful partnership with a newly arrived Aboriginal family to promote the inclusion of their 4-year-old daughter Carla in the preschool program. Background and inclusion need. Carla and her family recently resettled in Sydney from Darwin as her parents got the employment offer here. Upon enrollment, educators observed that Carla was withdrawn, displayed limited verbal communication with other children, and found that other children are laughing about her dress. She complains to her parents instead of telling to the teachers. These challenges prompted the team to adopt an inclusive, family centered approach to support her successful transition and development. Collaborative partnership strategies. To ensure that she feels safe, connected, and included in the program, educators initiated several partnership based strategies. The first one being establishing respectful environment. The educators arranged a meeting with her parents to learn about Carla's interests and developmental needs. The parents shared that she likes dancing and space exploration games. She helps her mother with cooking, but gets very irritated when interrupted in any task. This meeting successfully addressed Carla's skills and learning style, fostering respectful and knowledgeable assessment of Carla, as said by Arthur et al. 2020. Number two, developing a culturally responsive program. In response to families' input, Aboriginal language materials, music equipment, and cultural stories were introduced into the environment. Carla's mother was also invited to share traditional Aboriginal songs and equipment and storytelling with the class. This fostered a sense of cultural safety and belonging. NQS Quality Area 1 and 6. Number three, creating an individual learning plan. The ILP was co constructed with parents to support Carla's development, emotional regulation, and peer relationships. Some dance classes were also introduced to the schedule. Visual communication cards and uninterrupted and consistent routines were used to support her engagement and understanding. Number four, establishing ongoing communication and reflection. A communication book was given to her parents, highlighting routine reflections, photos, and progress updates with the family in accessible language. The family also contributed by sharing thoughts on her improvement and different home experiences, fostering continuity between setting and encouraging their active role in Carla's learning journey. Outcomes and implications of practice. Over time, Carla demonstrated increased confidence, began initiating interactions with peers, and regularly participating in all the routines. Her mothers expressed appreciation for the service's inclusive practices and developed a strong relationship with the educators. The team reflected that working in partnership with the family deepened their cultural competence and reaffirmed their commitment to equity and inclusion. This example demonstrates the significance of genuine collaboration in advancing children's rights to participate fully in early childhood education, irrespective of culture, linguistic, and social background. Links to EYLF 2.0 and NQS. This fulfills EYLF V 2.0 Outcome 1 that says children have a strong sense of identity, practice partnership and families, and NQS quality area number 6, collaborative partnerships and families with families and communities. Benefits of family and community engagement. Families are the biggest educators of their children as they spend most of the time with each other and sharing culture, emotions, and languages. When a child enters a preschool, educators are expected to treat them with equitable and respectful manner and communicate with child's parents more often to gain more knowledge and how children behaves in different circumstances and transitions. This influences children's overall development positively, as said by Department of Education 2022. Epstein's in 2011 model of overlapping spheres of influence illustrates that children benefit most when the context of home, school, and community are interconnected and supportive. Children also feel safe and secure in such environments. Family engagement enhances children's cognitive and social development, school readiness, and well being, as said by Mapp and Henderson in 2002. Children whose families are engaged in their early education demonstrate improved language skills, stronger self regulation, and increased motivation to learn, as said by DEEWR 2009. Conversely, community relationships enhance children's education by giving them access to a variety of opportunities, viewpoints, and resources. Meaningful links between children's living experiences and outside world are made possible by partnerships with neighborhood organizations including libraries, health clinics and cultural centers and environmental organizations, said by Arthur et al. 2021. Challenges to building partnerships. Collaborative partnerships are rarely without difficulties, despite their significance. Family participation may be restricted by structural obstacles such as time restraint, linguistic hurdles, and socioeconomic disparities. Respectful, inclusive partner relationships can also be hindered by educator bias, unquestioned assumptions, and deficit perspective on families, said by Sims and Hutchins in 2011. To address these challenges, services must adopt an asset based approach that recognizes the strength, knowledge, and contribution of all families. Critical reflection, professional learning, and inclusive leadership are essential to creating environments where all voices are valued and heard. Policies and framework alignment. In addition to EYLF 2.0 and NQS, The ECA Code of Ethics in 2016 outlines the ethical obligations to educators to work in partnership with families and advocate for children's rights. The code emphasizes respect for family diversity and importance of collaborative decision making. The NQS Area 6, Quality Area 6, collaborative partnerships with families and communities provide a clear framework for practice. Standard 6.1 focuses on respectful relationships with families, while Standard 6.2 encourages engagement with the broader community to enhance children's learning and well being. ESICA 2020. Recommendation for practice. Drawing on literature and policy, the following recommendations support the development of effective partnerships in early childhood services. Number one, establish communication. Educators should use multiple digital platforms to share the videos, photographs, and other activities that children are interested and engaged in. They should also encourage face to face communication with parents to ensure accessibility and mutual understanding. Edward et al. 2021. Number two, embed cultural responsiveness. Educators must commit to develop their knowledge of cultural competence and humility. This includes learning about families' backgrounds, challenging stereotypes, and embedding diverse worldview in curriculum and practices, as said by Department of Education 2022. Number three, invite family participation in curriculum. Educators should invite families to contribute their knowledge, skills, and stories to curriculum planning. Co learning experiences such as storytelling, cooking, or gardening build a stronger relationship and enrich learning. Said by Arthur et al. 2021. Number four, engage in reflective practice. Educators must reflect on how their belief and practices support their or hinder partnerships. This includes examining power dynamics, communication style, and service structures that may exclude some families, said by Sims and Hutchins 2011. Number five, provide inclusive leadership. Educational leaders play a critical role in modeling relational pedagogy and supporting staff to build capacity in family and community engagement. This includes prioritizing relational time, professional development, and shared visioning. Conclusion. Collaborative partnerships with families and communities are essential to realizing inclusive, equitable, and high quality early childhood education. These relationships enhance children's learning by ensuring that their experiences, identities, and contexts are recognized and honored. Grounded in EYLF 2.0, the NQS, and ethical practices, effective partnerships requires intentionality, respect, and ongoing reflection. Educators must continue to critically examine their roles as partners, advocates, and co-learners, ensuring that every child and family is supported to belong, be, and become. Thank you.